Hey guys, it's your boy TroosterTube, and today is my video review for all the Kingdom and Legacy predacons from Beast Wars Season 1. So, I'm gonna start with Scorponok. And mine is really loose. Some parts, like the legs and the arms, they come down. I gotta say, he looks a lot like the show, which is great. But the backpack and the legs, you've probably heard it from other reviewers, they suck. Like, they just go in there, haphazardly. His articulation is, the scorpion tail can move, which is more for transformation. This part at the top can move up and down. Can't go over his head, so he's just gonna sting himself. His head there's a swivel that lets him turn side to side. Can look up that far and not down at all. For some reason, on mine, the chest doors can't close all the way without getting out the waist part. Cause I don't know. Though I tab it in, if anyone knows why that is, can y'all leave it in the comments. His arms can go 360, can go up like this, but only due to transformation. They go out that far. He has a pretty good bend at the elbow. He has a swivel at his arm, and he has a wrist swivel, and the claws open up. And his accessories are pretty good. Has a cyber bee. And if you open the other claw, he has cannons. Sorry guys, if you can hear that, there's some background noise. And the legs, they can go out that far. But like I said, mine, the crotch gets separated from there. Legs can go back that far and forward really far. And that's how good he can bend his knees. His feet can move out like that. And there's a ankle rocker. Overall, he has pretty good articulation, and he looks great. But I don't know, this part right here on mine sucks. So if anyone can y'all give me a reason why it's so bad? Alright, next up, let's do Tarantulas. He looks good. This is a legacy figure instead of being a kingdom one, so he's kind of better. His accessories are his gun from the show, and for some reason, the weapon his transmetal toy had, I don't I don't know. His articulation is all his spider legs are on a ball joint. His head can turn side to side. Can't really look up or down. His arms can move out like that and full 360. Kinda has a swivel at his arm, and then has a swivel right here. No whisk swivel, but his hands can go up and down. He has a waist joint. She can't really move that great. His thighs can move. They can go out that far, backwards that far, and forwards that far. And he can bend his knees pretty great, which is mostly for transformation. His feet can go backwards that far, forwards that far, and there's a ankle rocker. Forgot to mention, but obviously Scorponok can twist his waist too. So next I'll review Pterosaur. Now, for some reason he wasn't released in Kingdom, though he would have fit because they could have had him replace Shadow Panther instead of making him an exclusive. Now his accessories are the spikes on his arms, his gun, and the golden disc, which he's the only character that comes with it besides the arc. It looks great. I think it's darker in paint than the arc one, but I'm not sure. So, and his gun looks good. Mine has really weak ankle joints. Like, they're really, really loose. And he can't stand because of it. His articulation, like Airazor, he can move his wings out pretty far. These parts can move. And his backpack is bird head, the pterodactyl head. And if you saw my community post where I flipped the pieces on him, these ones, because out of the box, they're like this, which is, I don't know why, but it's an easy fix to do. His articulation, can turn his head side to side, he can look up that far, down that far, can move his arm out that far. They can't go out, but they can go. They can't go back. They can go forward really far. He can bend his arms like Airazor. He's just a remold of Airazor, by the way. Got a swivel at his arm. And just like Airazor, he can do this with his hands for transformation. His dagger, his like blades on his arms can move. and they're removable. But I suggest just keeping those on. And just like Eraser, I suggest moving out this part, and he can do that. They can't go backwards, they can go really forwards. Same bend as Eraser. They can do this too, just like Eraser and for the transformation. Like I said, loose ball joints at the ankles for mine. I don't know why they're like that. Alright. Now I'm gonna do Black Arachnia. She looks good, and unfortunately, the hand on mine did break. And if you saw my community post a while back, I did buy this off of eBay, so I don't know if I accidentally break it or it broke in shipping. But unfortunately, it is broken. So her articulation, just like Tarantulas, all the spider legs are on ball joints. Her weapon is like Tarantulas's, and it's from the show. That's pretty cool. Her head can move side to side. She can look up that far and down that far. Arms can go out like that. Full 360. Kind of. Just like Tarantulas, the whole spider leg part can move independently from the rest of her arm because they're on mushroom pegs. This part of her arm has a swivel, and she can bend her arm like that. She does not have a waist rotation. Legs can move out that far, backwards that far, and forwards not a lot because the crotch gets in the way. That's a real, this is how far her knees can bend. There is a rotation at the swivel at the thigh. Feet can move up that far and backwards that far. She does have an ankle rocker, which is cool. Next, let's do Waspinator. Now, this is a problem that a lot of bug formers have, which is also apparent with Inferno, but the legs get in the way for the Kingdom ones. So his weapon is a wasp stinger, which is pretty cool. His wings are on ball joints. There's a swivel at his head. Can look up that far and down that far. I don't know, for some reason, for mine, the head comes together a lot. Even though it's supposed to look like this. The antenna can swivel. Its arms can go out that far. Hold on, guys. There's a siren in the background. I don't know if y'all could hear that or not. His arms has a swivel right here. The bug legs on his arms can move. He can bend his arm like that, and it can go backwards like he broke it. There was another siren. I'm sorry for stopping the recording so much. He has a wrist rotation. He has a waist rotation, but on mine and a few others, the waist gets disconnected from this part very easily. The legs can move out like that, and if you move the wings and stuff, can't really get them back that far, but they can go forward quite a bit. Has a kind of a swivel at the thigh. Because of this part, he can't really bend his knees that well. And his feet, due to transformation, can go backwards that far. You can bring his heels up like that. He has a pretty good ankle rocker. That's pretty great. Next up, Inferno. Like I said, his bug legs can also move, like these parts can move, and the legs. His weapon is, if you have the original Inferno, this is the part that goes into the for his like jetpack or whatever. I'll show you how it's supposed to go. Like, this is what it's originally used for on the show and in the original toy. Some upgrade companies have made his flamethrowers from the show too, for this toy and the original. His head looks really great. If you saw, he has a hinge joint at his jaw, and the ball joint on his head looks like a tongue, which I find really cool. The bug legs can move and stuff. His arm can go out like that. Kind of has a butterfly joint. Pretty sure it's more due to transformation. He has a double elbow for transformation, and it can go like that. Has a swivel right here, but it's kind of tight. Has a swivel at his hand. These parts, I don't know what they're called, can move. He has a waist rotation. And yeah, all these parts can go in and stuff. It can spin like the original and on the show. Legs can go forward that far, backwards not that much. If you move these bug legs out of the way, his legs can go out that far. He has a really great bend at the knee. Ankle rocker, and he has a swivel at the thighs. And now for the figure I consider one of the best out of these, Megatron, the leader of the predacons. He looks great. He looks like the show. His skin is like realistic. Can swivel his head, look up that far, look down that far. He can rotate his arms. And for this one, it's not this one. Arm can move out like that. Can bend like this. These parts can move. This can go up and down because it's the tail, and it can rotate. And he has this swivel right there. Over at the T-Rex arm, it can move out that far. And it can rotate. For some reason, he has a butterfly joint only on this arm. The dino head can bend. There's a swivel. And it can open. And it looks like the Jurassic Park T-Rex head. Which is why when they revealed this guy, and then when they released that Jurassic Park repaint, that was really cool to me. Move this stuff out of the way. Legs can go out that far, but it gets covered up by his thigh cannons. It can move forward that far, backward that far. That's how far he can bend his knees, and his foot goes forward and backwards. No ankle tilt. And there's a swivel at the thigh right here. And he does have a waist rotation, which is pretty cool. The next half of this review will be their beast modes. Alright, here's the review for the beast modes. Gonna start with Megatron. He's the most highly articulated figure here. Jaw, snake can go side to side. He can open his jaw all the way. Like I said, there's a butterfly joint right there. His T-Rex arms are on ball joints. Can spread that far. His legs can go out that far, forward that far. Bend. Pretty good ankles. Can wag his tail and move that part. Black Arachnia, her Black Arachnia, her weapon storage is great, and the only posable parts of her are the spider legs. That's the same thing here with Tarantulas. I mean, you can kind of move these, but it's only his legs are only posable. His weapon storage is great too. Pterosaur is just a razor. The wings are the same, but this is different. And it can go side to side. You can open his mouth. Scorponok. The tail barely moves. The stinger is on a ball joint. All of his legs are on a ball joint. His claws can open. Oh, and his weapon storage in this one, pretty good. Oh, and Pterosaur's weapon storage can either have his gun on his hip or somewhere on his wings like that, and it makes him look like a seeker. Inferno, well, I don't know what these are called, but they're very expressive. His weapon storage sucks. Like, it'd be better if it could fit in here, but it can't. His bug legs are articulated, kind of. His his these parts can open up. That's pretty much it. Waspinator, his antenna can move, can open his jaw up like that. You can move his legs, and then his wings are on ball joints. And that's my video review of the Kingdom and Legacy Beast Wars Season 1 Predacons. If like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Go watch my review for the Maximals. A stop motion for these guys are coming soon. And go look at my community posts, because I'm pretty active on my community tab. When I'm not making videos, I ask y'all a lot of questions and stuff. So go over there. Anyways, yeah, that's it. So like, comment, and subscribe. And my next reviews, I want to do the fossilizers. Anyways, bye. See you next video.